Hello guys, here's a winter tour of the Garden of Usher. This tour is more to show you how some of the California native plants are flowering and how they're doing. So we're going to start off with this Ceanothus Valley Violet. It's quickly becoming one of my favorites. It is just growing really well. And here you can start seeing some of the flowers that are starting to show up. And this cultivar of Ceanothus is supposed to have darker colored flowers than the other one. So we'll see how that turns out. And this garden tour is centered more around the front garden. And right here we have the Salvia appiana compacta. It's a compact, smaller version of Salvia appiana, and it makes a really good couple with this darker foliaged Aeonium arboreum. I pruned this Salvia appiana compacta earlier this fall to give it a more bushier growth and look. And right next to them is one of the one of the Penstemon mystica. It looks very green. It's supposed to look darker, but we'll see how it performs later on. This is one of the Leucadendron ebonies that I have, and I have four of these, I believe. And right here we have the Salvia desperado, and I also pruned this plant earlier this fall. It's supposed to be a giant, so hopefully the space will be big enough for it and adequate. And this is one of the black Baccara rose bushes that I have. It's the last one that I planted. I have three of them in total. And under this Aeonium arboreum is the California fuchsia or Epilobium canum. And this plant has been flowering non-stop. As you can see, it still has flowers on it. The hummingbirds keep visiting it. And it just takes care of itself. I don't need to deadhead it or anything. And down here is one of the purple pixie loropetalums. It's not looking too purple right now. It's looking a little bit more on the green side, but you can still see some of the purple there. And this one gets more sun and it looks darker and more purple. And they're doing pretty good so far. They've come back to life. And right down here are the paprika yarrows, and they're doing really well here. They are really happy in this area, and I had nothing but Bermuda grass there in this area. Well, I still have a lot of it, but around these plants, anytime any Bermuda grass pops up, I automatically pull it out. And as you can see, hopefully they're going to be spreading out in this area and taking over, and they will be competing with all that Bermuda grass. And this one here, it's the one that has been struggling the most, but it's slowly coming to life, and hopefully it'll look as healthy and as robust as the other ones. And this is one of my potted firepower nandinas, and look at the color on this plant. It is really beautiful, and if it gets colder, it should turn redder, I think. So it still has kind of like its fall colors right now. And this is the hummingbird sage. It has a lot of holes. It looks very eaten up and chewed up by a lot of caterpillars, but I leave them alone because I think those caterpillars will help feed the birds and their young. So that's a good thing. So I'm going to prune this hummingbird sage soon to give way to new growth. As you could see under it, there's a lot of new growth showing up. And this is the other Leucadendron ebony. This one was the first one that I've ever planted. It doesn't look sad, but it doesn't look robust either. It hasn't put on a lot of growth. Maybe the area is not adequate, but just as long as it looks happy, it doesn't have, in a good way, I'm glad that it's staying compact like that. And this is the Black Diamond Crepe Myrtle Best Red. I've placed some leftover pine cones from Christmas under that to control the weeds. And it's growing steadily, and I'm really happy with it. It's going to go into its winter phase soon, or it's already starting. It has been losing a lot of leaves, so I'm really happy with this plant. And this is the hillside area, and this is the Ceanothus Centennial. It's doing pretty well, and it's supposed to be a fast grower, and I'm looking forward to it when it covers a lot of that area, again to suppress the weed and for stabilizing the hill. And right next to it is a hollyhock. The flowers are pink on this one. It's a volunteer from my neighbor's garden. She has a lot of them. I just kind of left it there, and I think it worked out. I want to plant eventually a black hollyhock there. And as we make our way up here, I have another purple pixie loropetalum. It looks much happier than it used to look, and I'm very happy about that. In this corner, I don't have a lot of California native plants. They're mostly non-California native plants, and I have quite a few Aeonium arboreums. It's one of my favorite plants. And under this one, we have one of the flirt nandinas. So this one looks very green. It has no color at all because it doesn't get a lot of sun. Right here we have the Nandina, the Obsession Nandina, and it's starting to show its winter colors. Hopefully, it gets redder as it gets colder. And that's the other Flirt Nandina there. As you can see, this one has more color than the other one because it gets a little bit more sun. And right here we have the Eptide Rose. And this rose got bigger than what I expected, or at least bigger than what the labels indicated. But I really like it a lot. And as you can see, it's going to start blooming. I really look forward to the winter bloom. I will probably show you a video if I can of of the winter bloom. And right next to it is the Eriogonum grande variant rubescens. So it's a red flowered California buckwheat. It's a smaller one as well. Just like the rose, it's getting bigger than what I was expecting or bigger than what the labels indicated. I'm going to be pruning it and cutting off the dead flower stalks soon to prepare it for spring. And I've added more leftover Christmas pine cones here for purposes of keeping the weeds at bay. And now we're in the back garden, and this is the Sonoma Coast White Yarrow. This yarrow has been really struggling. I'm not sure if it's getting too much water, too little water, not enough sun. I'm blaming it maybe on not enough sun, but it's just not been looking really happy. It looks like it's spreading around, but it could look better. And this is one of the other Leucadendron ebonies. This one is going to start flowering soon, it seems. And it hasn't even been a year that I've planted it there. And as you can see there, it'll be the first for me. I actually have four of these plants in my garden due to its dark foliage and because it's drought tolerant. But it's a very beautiful plant. And right here we have the toyon. This toyon is much taller than me now. It's just under 6 feet tall. This is probably the most vigorous grower that I have in terms of California native plants. I'm going to revisit this plant again when I prune it, and I'll show you a video of that. And right here we have the Verbena lilacina delamina. It's also starting to flower. This plant has a somewhat awkward, messy shape, and it's supposed to get a little bit bigger than this, so I'll definitely see what else it'll look like when it gets bigger. And last but not least, this is the Arctostaphylos edmundsi Weber Garden Manzanita. I always get so excited when I see something for the very first time. So this Manzanita is showing its first flowers, and look how precious this flower looks. It almost looks like a pearl or an upside down porcelain jar of some sort. And this is just the beginning, and I'm so excited. There's no words to describe how excited I'm feeling right now.